Hi guys, so I welcome you all to today's lecture under the fast track series for RBI grade B 2018, which has been brought to you guys by EduTap. Before proceeding forward, let us briefly look at what this series entails for you guys. So in this particular series, we are going to attain a comprehensive coverage of current affairs from the month of May 2018 to 15th August 2018, that is before your examination. And again, in this particular series, we are going to alternatively cover topics of ESI, that is economic and social issues, and finance and management, which will be covered through important problems under multiple choice questions or MCQs. Now, we have been working in this direction for the past few years, and we have been blessed with some of the very amazing results in the past few years. Now in RBI grade B 2017 results, 124 of our students, they reached the interview stage, and 27 of the students, they made it to the final list. Now apart from the different other courses which we are running, we are offering these courses for RBI grade B 2018 examination. So these are the different courses which you guys can choose from. So there is a wide range of courses and you can choose according to your requirement. Now in case you need to know more, you have any query, you can always visit our website, which is www.edutap.co.in, or you can drop us a mail at deepak@edutap.co.in, or you can call us at 8146-207-241. Now in this video, we are going to cover some of the very important current affairs for the period 10th of June 2018 to 13th of June 2018, which can be asked in the examination. So let's start with the first news item, which is about China awarding the Friendship Medal to Russian President. So China has awarded its first highest state honor Friendship Medal to Russian President Mr. Vladimir Putin. So this is the important news, and this award has been personally presented to Mr. Vladimir Putin, as you can see in this particular picture, by the Chinese President Mr. Xi Jinping. And this was the first time that the China has awarded this medal since it was established in 2015. So this makes it very important. And this friendship medal, it is conferred by China only on a foreigner. So no Chinese can win this medal. And this is awarded for outstanding contribution made in promoting exchange and cooperation between the China and the world, and in order to promote world peace. So Russian president, he was in China recently during his official visit to attend the 18th Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit, which was held at Qingdao in China. So it was on this occasion that this friendship medal, it was presented to him. Now let's move to the next one, which is about India and China inking two very important MOUs or Memorandum of Understandings. So recently, India and China, they have signed two MOUs for sharing the hydrological data for the Brahmaputra river, and another one for supplying non-basmati rice to China. So these are the two very important MOUs which have been recently signed between India and China. Now under the first one, which is the MOU on river Brahmaputra, the China will start sharing the hydrological information of the Brahmaputra river with India. So this Brahmaputra river, it starts from Tibet, it originates from Tibet, and it flows down to India and later enter Bangladesh, where it joins the river Ganga. So now it becomes really crucial that China shares the important information with regard to the flow of Brahmaputra river with India in order to control the flooding of this particular river. For example, if the river water, it is at a very high level, India can make adequate arrangements in advance to meet any kind of mishappening or any kind of untoward scenario. And so this particular sharing of information, this is going to be during the flood season from the 15th May to 15th October every year, and this is going to be very crucial in preventing the and prediction of the floods in the lower regions of Brahmaputra river. And in the MOU on the non-basmati rice, the 2000 protocol on phytosanitary requirements with regard to export of rice from India to China, they have been amended, and now they include the export of non-basmati varieties of rice from India. At present, India was only able to export basmati rice to China. So this criteria, this basket has now expanded, and India can export both basmati rice and non-basmati rice to China. Now the next one is about the appointment of Mr. S. Ramesh as the chairman of CBIC, or the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. So the union government has appointed senior bureaucrat Mr. S. Ramesh as the chairman of Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, that is CBIC, which is the apex decision making body or the policy making body with regard to the indirect taxes in the country. So this CBIC, it is a very important organization with regard to the indirect taxes, and it administers different indirect taxes, and they include customs, GST, central excise, service tax and narcotics in India. It is the part of Department of Revenue under the Union Ministry of Finance. So this is about the administrative setup of this particular organization. It is headquartered in New Delhi, and it is one of the very old government departments. It was established way back in 1855 by the then British Governor General of India, and the focus was to administer the custom laws in the country and in order to collect import duties and land revenue. And its name has been presently changed, and earlier it was known as CBEC or Central Board of Excise and Customs. Now since we were moving towards GST and we were combining all the indirect taxes into one, so we changed this name, and now it is known as Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. Now the next one is about the recent SCO Summit, which resulted in the Qingdao Declaration. So recently the SCO Summit, which was held in China, it resulted in the adoption of Qingdao Declaration, which called for 3-year plan to combat terrorism. So all SCO members, including China, India and Russia, they came out with this particular declaration, and the focus was to deepen the cooperation with regard to containing terrorism, extremism and separatism. So this declaration, it calls for reaching consensus in order to adopt the UN Comprehensive Convention on International Terrorism. So this is a very important convention of UN with regard to terrorism, and we are focusing on reaching consensus with regard to it. And the SCO leaders, they also adopted a joint appeal to youth, and in this particular appeal, the youth was appealed that they should not get influenced by extremist ideologies. India, it refused to endorse the China's ambitious One Belt One Road project, and which China decided to make part of this particular declaration at this SCO Summit. And at the restricted session of this SCO Summit, Indian Prime Minister, he also floated this concept of secure, and this is very important. And in this, S stands for security for citizens, E for economic development, C for connectivity in the region, U for unity, R for respect of sovereignty, and E for environment protection. So this is very important, and this we have to remember that this secure concept, it was issued by the Indian Prime Minister in the recent SCO Summit in China. And this is also very important. We have to remember that the Qingdao Declaration, it was adopted at the SCO Summit. So now let us also briefly learn about this Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Now this SCO or Shanghai Cooperation Organization, it is a Eurasian economic, political and security organization. So its ambit is very wide. It is headquartered in Beijing, China, and it was founded at a summit which was held in Shanghai in 2001, and hence this particular name. And it was founded by the presidents of Russia, China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. And India and Pakistan, they became full members of this particular organization at the Astana Summit of June 2017. So now SCO, it has 8 member countries which represent about 42% of the world's population and 20% of the global GDP. So these are the very important facts about the SCO, and we have to remember all these facts. Now the next one is about the Malabar 2018 naval exercise between India, Japan and US. So recently the trilateral naval exercise Malabar 2018, it was kicked off the coast of Guam in Philippine Sea between India, Japan and United States. So this was the 22nd edition of the naval exercise, and this has become an annual feature in the deep and growing military ties between India and US. Now this is going to be the first naval war exercise after the US renamed its Hawaii-based Pacific Command as the Indo-Pacific Command. This we have already covered in the previous video also. The Malabar exercise, it started in 1992, and initially it was a bilateral exercise between Indian and the US Navy. And the later Japan also joined, and it became a permanent member of this Malabar exercise in 2015. Now the next one is about the hosting of the 11th World Hindi Conference by Mauritius. So 11th World Hindi Conference is going to be held in Mauritius from 18th to 20th of August 2018. So this is very important. The venue is very important, because whenever we look at this particular conference, the World Hindi Conference, we may automatically think that this should be held in India. However, this is not so. The recent World Hindi Conference, it is being organized in Mauritius. Now the theme of this conference, it is Vaishvik Hindi or Bharatiya Sanskriti, and the main venue is going to be Swami Vivekananda International Convention Center. Now as far as the organization is concerned, it is being organized by the Ministry of External Affairs every 3 years by the Government of India in association with the Government of Mauritius. So this is conducted every 3 years, and apart from India, Mauritius is the only country where this conference is being hosted for a third time. And the first conference, it was held in January 1975 in Nagpur, Maharashtra, and it was inaugurated by the then Prime Minister Shrimati Indira Gandhi. And the last edition of this conference, it was held in Bhopal, Maharashtra in 2015 with the theme Hindi Jagat Vistar and Sambhavne. So this is about the World Hindi Conference. Now next one is about the launch of Rail Madad app by the government. So recently the government has launched the Rail Madad app to expedite and streamline the passenger grievance redressal. So Rail Madad, it is a feature of RP Grams, which is the Railway Passenger Grievance Redressal and Management System, and this has been developed by Northern Railway Delhi Division. Now this particular system, it integrates all the passenger complaints which can be received from multiple modes, and they are received through either offline or through online modes on a single platform. Now the event also witnessed the launch of a new app menu on rails and a mobile application developed by IRCTC, and this particular application is for creating awareness to the railway passengers with regard to the items which are being served to them on the rail journey. So this is about the Rail Madad app and the menu on rails mobile app. Now the next one is about India mulling a new group of 8 to 10 countries in WTO. So India is considering bringing together a group of 8 to 10 member countries of WTO in order to prepare an agenda for creating a conducive atmosphere to ensure the smooth functioning of WTO. Now the talks which were being held at the recent WTO conference in Argentina, they had collapsed in 2017, and this happened after the US it went back on its commitment in order to find a permanent solution to the public food stock holding issue, which is a key matter for India. So this is a very important matter on which India is adamant, and the other developing countries are also supporting India. The countries want a permanent solution with regard to the public food stock holding, which is a very important issue with regard to the developing countries, because these countries, they maintain a public stock of food grains in order to distribute to the people in the different parts of the country during different times. And India's coalition partners, they have remained steadfast in their resolve, and they are seeking only a permanent solution on this public stock holding issue, and also they are focusing on other issues which are of interest to developing countries. So now let us briefly look at this World Trade Organization or WTO. This is an international governmental organization which regulates the international trade, and it is one of the largest economic organization in the world, and it was officially commenced on 1st of January 1995 under this very important Marrakesh Agreement, which was signed by 124 nations in 1994. And the coming of WTO, the birth of WTO, it replaced the General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade, which commenced in 1948. So this GATT is the predecessor organization to WTO. Currently WTO has around 164 members. Now this is the information which is going to keep updating, so you should keep yourselves updated on this front. Now WTO is headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland, and it deals with the regulation with regard to trade not only in goods but also in services as well as intellectual property, and it also has a dispute resolution process in order to address the different kinds of issues which arise between the different member countries. Now let's move to the next one, which is about World Health Organization commending India for reducing MMR or maternal mortality rate. So WHO has commended India's progress in reducing the maternal mortality rate by 77% from around 556 per 1 lakh live births in 1990 to 130 per 1 lakh live births in 2016. So tremendous improvement has been made by India in this MMR front, and this has been acknowledged by WHO. And WHO has said that this progress, it is going to put India on track to achieve the Sustainable Development Goal target, which is of attaining MMR below 70 by 2030. This is important. Now MMR, it is the annual number of female deaths per 1 lakh live births from any cause related to or aggravated by pregnancy. WHO, it was established on 7th of April 1948 and it is a specialized agency of UN and it has headquarters in Geneva, Switzerland. And an important publication of WHO, it is the World Health Report, which is the World Wide Health Survey and the World Health Day. So these are the important publications and important flagship initiatives of WHO. Now let us briefly look at the Sustainable Development Goals. So there are 17 Sustainable Development Goals which have been set by United Nations in 2015 and they are to be achieved by 2030. Now these goals, they cover social and economic development issues including poverty, hunger, health, climate change, etc. Overall there are around 169 targets for these 17 goals. So there are these 17 goals and they include no poverty, zero hunger, good health. So good health is one of the very important indicator. Education, gender equality, cleaning water and sanitation, etc. Now let's move to the next one, which is about Kerala lifting the high alert with regard to the Nipah virus. So Kerala government has recently decided to lift the high alert which was earlier issued in the wake of outbreak of deadly Nipah virus in northern Kozhikode and Malappuram. So according to WHO, this Nipah virus infection is a newly emerging zoonosis, that is, it is a disease which is transmitted from animals to human. This virus, it belongs to a new genus termed as Nipah virus, and the fruit bats are the natural host of this particular virus. Presently there is no treatment or vaccine which is available for this particular disease, and the only treatment which is there, it is of supportive care. This virus, it was first identified in the Malaysia in 1998 and it is named after the village in Malaysia as Nipah. In India, the disease was first reported in 2001 and again 6 years later with 2 outbreaks which claimed around 50 lives. So this information about Nipah virus, it is important, and the state which was in news with regard to the Nipah virus, that is Kerala, it is also important. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the role of CSIR in the development of India's first indigenous lithium ion battery. So Central Electrochemical Research Institution, which is CECRI, based in Karaikudi, Tamil Nadu, it is under the CSIR, that is the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, and Rasi Solar Private Limited. They have signed a memorandum of agreement for transfer of technology for India's first lithium ion battery project. So this is about India's first indigenous lithium ion battery project, and this CECRI, which is under the CSIR, it has signed an MOA, memorandum of agreement, with regard to the same. Now currently the Indian manufacturers, they are getting this lithium ion battery from foreign countries like China, Japan and South Korea, and India is one of the largest importers in this lithium ion batteries, and in 2017 alone around 150 million US dollars they were spent on importing the lithium ion batteries. So if we are able to effectively employ the indigenous technologies with regard to the development of lithium ion battery, then this can be a major game changer with regard to the foreign exchange scenario or the balance of payment in the country. Now these lithium ion batteries, they have very large applications with regard to energy storage systems, and they can power any kind of electrical systems without the need of physical wires. So this is why we have to make our efforts and we have to make developments in this particular regard. Now the next one is about the appointment of Mr. Sharad Kumar as Vigilance Commissioner in CVC. So recently former NIA chief Mr. Sharad Kumar has been appointed as the Vigilance Commissioner in CVC, which is the Central Vigilance Commission. Now this CVC, it is an apex intergovernmental Indian governmental body which was created in 1964, and the objective of its creation, it was to address the corruption in the government departments, or to address the governmental corruption. So it was set up by the government of India in 1964, and this was on the recommendations of a very important committee which was set up on prevention of corruption, which was headed by Shri K. Santhanam, and it advised the government with regard to the field of vigilance and addressing the government corruption. Now the CVC as a body, it comprises of a Chief Vigilance Commissioner or a chairperson, and not more than 2 Vigilance Commissioners or 2 members. Now the next one is about Sunil Chhetri becoming the second highest goal scorer. So Indian football team captain Sunil Chhetri has become the second highest international goal scorer among active players. So along with Argentine striker who is Lionel Messi, and this player Sunil Chhetri, he has become the second highest goal scorer. And if you look at the number of goals which have been scored per match, Chhetri has performed even better than Messi. Now let's move to the next one, which is about 2018 being declared as construction year. So recently 2018 has been declared as a construction year by the Ministry of Road, Transport and Highways, Shipping, Water Resources, River Development and Ganga Rejuvenation. So recently Union Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari, he held a 2-day review of the ongoing national highways project. And in this regard, he took a review of over 700 projects with regard to different aspects of construction. And in this regard, he declared the year 2018 as the construction year. So this we have to remember that year 2018 has been declared as construction year. Now the next one is about the national awards with regard to the best performing self-help groups. So recently these awards were presented by the Union Minister of Rural Development, Panchayati Raj and Mines, that is Shri Narendra Singh Tomar. So these awards, they were conferred on best performing self-help groups under Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. Now the aim of these awards is to provide public recognition to the outstanding performance which have been made by some of the self-help groups in this particular Yojana or scheme. For the assessment year 2017-18, a total of 34 self-help groups, they have been awarded national awards. And as a part of the award, each self-help group received a cash award of rupees 1 lakh. And this was further appreciated along with a commemoration and a certificate of appreciation. So now let's move to the next one, which is about the observance of 12th of June as the World Day Against Child Labor. So the World Day Against Child Labor, it is held every year on June 12th to foster the worldwide movement against child labor in its any of forms. So International Labour Organization, it launched the World Day Against Child Labor in 2002, and the objective was to focus attention on the global extent of child labor, the problem of child labor, and how we need to make efforts and actions in order to eliminate this particular problem. Every year on 12th of June, different stakeholders, the government, the employers, the civil society, they come together from the different parts of the world, and they come together to highlight the plight of child laborers and to bring into light this particular issue to rehabilitate the child laborers across the world. Also, the Sustainable Development Goals which have been adopted in 2015, they also push for a renewed global commitments to end child labor. More specifically, target number 8.7 of Sustainable Development Goals, it focuses on ending all forms of child labor by 2025. So this is important. This can be directly asked in the examination, that target 8.7 SDG, it aims at ending all forms of child labor by which of the following years? So it would be 2025. Now let us also briefly look at the different steps which have been taken by India with regard to child labor. So India has ratified 2 core conventions of International Labour Organization or ILO. These are Convention number 138, which is regarding the admission of age to employment, and Convention number 182, which is regarding the worst forms of labour. Also, the Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Bill 2016 has been brought in by the Indian government, which seeks to amend the Child Labour Act of 1986, and it seeks to widen the scope of this particular law against child labour and to provide strict punishment for different violation. This particular bill, it seeks to prohibit the employment of children below 14 years in all the occupations except where the child is helping his family. The bill also introduces a new category of persons called adolescent, and this is between the age group of 14 to 18 years, and the bill prohibits employment of adolescents in hazardous occupations. Also, recently we have launched this Pencil portal, which is an electronic platform which involves the center, state, district government, civil society and the general public in order to achieve the target of child labor free society. So on this particular portal you can report the incidents of child labor. Now let's move to the next one, which is about the discovery of new planet by the Indian scientists, that is Epic Planet. So a team from the Physics Research Laboratory Ahmedabad has spotted for the first time a distant planet which is 6 times bigger than the Earth, and this planet is revolving around a sun-like star about 600 light years away. So this is a feather in cap of Indian scientists that they have discovered this planet, and with this discovery India has joined a handful of countries which have discovered planets around stars. Now this planet and the star, they have been named Epic 211945201b or K2 236b. Now this planet is smaller than Saturn but bigger than Neptune, and its mass is about 27 times the mass of Earth and 6 times that of Earth at radius. Now with this discovery, India has become elite. India has joined an elite group of countries to discover planets around stars, and this discovery, it was made using this spectrograph, which is PARAS, and it was used to measure and confirm the mass of the new planet. Now this physics research laboratory, or the physical research laboratory which has made this discovery, it is a National Research Institute for Space and Allied Sciences, and it is supported mainly by the Department of Space. Now the next one is about the government launching 5,000 Wi-Fi chopals. So recently the Union Ministry of Electronics and IT has launched 5,000 Wi-Fi chopals in villages in partnership with the Common Service Centers, or CSC. Now CSC Wi-Fi Chopal, it is a government initiative which focuses on developing a rural Wi-Fi infrastructure, and it focuses on hosting suitable applications in order to provide various ICT related services to rural areas at a very affordable cost. So the tariff plans which are made available under this particular service, they range from only ₹5 to ₹950. And this particular initiative, it aims to connect all the gram panchayats in the country through the optical fiber cable, and to provide high speed internet connectivity in all the gram panchayats. And the objective is to connect the 5 P's of a village, and these are post office, police station, primary health center, panchayat office, and primary school. So this is about the Wi-Fi Chopal initiative, and the question in this regard can be framed with regard to the ministry or with regard to the coverage of the gram panchayats under this particular initiative. Now in this regard, these are the very important terms, that is Common Service Centers and BharatNet. Let us briefly look at these terms. Now Common Service Centers, or CSC, they are the component of the mission mode projects under the Digital India program, and these are the physical facilities for delivering the Government of India e-services to rural and remote locations where the availability of computers and internet was negligible or mostly absent. So these centers, they are being established in the rural and remote locations, and using these centers as a multiple service single point model, different kinds of facilities are provided to the said locations from this particular center at a single geographical location. Now as far as BharatNet project is concerned, we have to remember that this project aims to provide high-speed broadband to all the panchayats by March 2019. This project is an upgraded version of National Optical Fiber Network, which aimed to connect all the 2.5 lakh gram panchayats in the country with optical fiber network. This project is going to be funded by Universal Service Obligation Fund, which has been set up for improving telecom services in rural and remote areas of the country. So this is about Common Service Center and BharatNet project, on which a simple question may be framed. Now the next one is about Nepal Bharat Maitri Irrigation project. So recently India has decided to extend a financial aid of around ₹99 million to Nepal for construction of a shallow tube well irrigation system in 12 districts of the country's Terai region as a part of Nepal Bharat Maitri Irrigation project. Now in this regard, a question can be framed that the Maitri Irrigation project is between India and which of the following neighboring countries. So answer to this will be Nepal. Now this project, it was launched in Jan 2017, and the objective was to boost the growth of Himalayan nations, that is Nepal's agriculture sector, through enhanced facilities. Now this project, it aims to provide irrigation facilities to about 8,000 hectares of farmland to improve the productivity of wheat, rice, fruits, vegetables and other crops. This project will also uplift the socio-economic status of the farming families in the region, and India has been partnering with Nepal for developing deep well tube wells and shallow tube wells in various regions for several years as a part of this project. So most important question which can be framed is about the Maitri Irrigation project and the countries involved. Now the next one is about Swachh iconic places. So recently 10 new iconic sites have been taken up under the phase 3 of the flagship project Swachh iconic places of the Swachh Bharat mission. So these 10 new iconic sites have been chosen to become the Swachh iconic places in the country. So they include Raghavendra Swami Temple in Andhra Pradesh, Hazardwari Palace in Murshidabad, West Bengal, Brahm Sarovar Temple in Kurukshetra, Haryana, Vidur Kutti in Uttar Pradesh, Mana village in Uttarakhand, Pangong Lake in Ladakh, Nag Vasuki Temple in Uttar Pradesh, Ima Kethal Market in Manipur, Sabrimala Temple in Kerala, and Kanav Ashram in Uttarakhand. So these are going to become 10 new Swachh iconic places under the Swachh Bharat mission. Now the next one is about a launch of rupees 500 crore credit enhancement fund. So recently government has decided to unveil a rupees 500 crore credit enhancement fund to facilitate infrastructure investments by insurance and pension funds. So this credit enhancement fund, it was first announced in the budget for the fiscal year 2016-17, and the initial corpus of this fund, it is going to be sponsored by India Infrastructure Finance Company or IIFCL, and this will be around 500 crores and it is going to operate as a non-banking finance company. So IIFCL, it will hold a 22.5% stake in this NBFC, while AIIB, that is the Asian Infra Investment Bank, it is offered to pick up 10%, and SBI, Bank of Baroda and LIC, they are also going to have some stakes in this particular firm. So this particular firm is going to be constituted, and the fund will help raise credit rating of the bonds which are floated by the infrastructure company and facilitate investments for long-term investors. So in this regard, we can be asked this question that recently the government has framed this credit enhancement fund. What is the corpus of this particular fund, or what is the key sponsor of this particular fund, or when was this fund first announced? So these are all the aspects which we have to remember with regard to this particular news item. Now the next one is about India hosting first BIMSTEC military exercise. So India is going to host the first military exercise of BIMSTEC group, which is going to focus on counter-terrorism. And as part of this, a conclave of army chiefs of all the member states is also being planned. And this exercise is scheduled to be held in Pune in the second week of September 2018. And the BIMSTEC countries, they also held a disaster management exercise in 2017. However, this is the first time the military exercise is being conducted for the grouping. So gradually BIMSTEC is expanding its ambit from disaster management exercise, it is moving to military exercise. Now this BIMSTEC, it brings together important neighbors of India in South and Southeast Asia. Now let us look at some of the key important aspects of this BIMSTEC grouping. Now this BIMSTEC, it is a regional organization which comprises 7 member states in and around Bay of Bengal. So they include India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Thailand, Myanmar, Bhutan and Nepal. And this organization, it first came into being on 6th June 1997 through the Bangkok Declaration. And this region, it is home to around 1.5 billion people, comprising 22% of the global population and a combined GDP of 2.7 trillion economies. So this is the importance of BIMSTEC, and now BIMSTEC is expanding its ambit. This is which we must know. Now next one is about the announcement with regard to 3,000 additional Atal tinkering labs. So Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission has selected 3,000 additional schools for establishing Atal tinkering labs. So we have to remember that these Atal tinkering labs, they are established in schools, and additional 3,000 labs are going to be selected. So the selected schools, they will receive a grant of around rupees 20 lakh over the next 5 years to establish these labs, and they will be established under the Atal Innovation Mission, which is a flagship Government of India initiative to promote innovation and entrepreneurship in the country. Rupees 200 crores have been allocated under the budget 2018 for Atal Innovation Mission by the Government of India. So this is a very important factoid for examination. Now next one is about the quick estimates with regard to the index of industrial production. So the quick estimates of index of industrial production, or IIP, with the base year 2011-12 for the month of April 2018, they have been released by the Central Statistics Office of the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Now the general index for the month of April 2018, it stands at 123.0, and this is 4.9% higher as compared to the level in the month of April 2017. So this is higher as compared to the last year. Now this IIP, it is an index which shows the growth rate in different industry groups, and it is being published by CSO on a monthly basis, and the base year of this IIP in series in India, it is 2011-12, And there are 8 core industries, and they comprise around 40% of the total weight of items in this index of industrial production. So these are the key factoids which we must remember about this particular news item. Now the next one is about SEBI deciding to review the Institutional Trading Platform Framework, or ITP framework. Now SEBI has constituted a group which is going to look into the Institutional Trading Platform Framework, and it is going to suggest measures to facilitate listing of startups in the country. Now initially this ITP framework, it was put into place by SEBI in 2015, and the focus was on facilitating the listing of new age companies in the different emerging sectors like e-commerce, data analytics, biotech and other startups. Now in this regard, SEBI has discussed this issue with various stakeholders, and a group has been formulated, and it comprises representatives from India Software Product Industry Roundtable, that is ISPIT, the Indus Entrepreneurs, and the Indian Private Equity and Venture Capital Association, and different other stakeholders. Now Institutional Trading Platform, this is going to be a new window on stock exchange where emerging firms, the emerging technology firms like e-commerce, data analytics, biotechnology and other startups, they can list and trade on their shares. Now let us also briefly learn about this Securities and Exchange Board of India. This was established in 1988 to regulate the country's security market, and it attained the statutory status in 1992 with the adoption of SEBI Act 1992. Its headquarters are located in Mumbai, and regional offices are there in Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Chennai and Delhi. SEBI is administered by a board of members which is specifically constituted for this particular purpose. So the key objective of SEBI, it is to regulate the stock market, regulate the activities of stock market in the country. Now next one is about the signing of MOU between India and Vietnam on postage stamps. So Department of Postal Administration of India and Vietnam, they have signed this MOU to jointly issue postage stamps on India, Vietnam, and the joint issue on the theme, that the theme will be ancient architecture, and this is going to depict Sanchi Stupa of India and Pho Minh Pagoda of Vietnam. So this is important. Next one is about Dam Safety Bill 2018. Now recently Union Government has approved the proposal of introduction of Dam Safety Bill 2018 in the Parliament. Now in the country there are around 5,200 large dams, and around 450 are still under construction. However, due to lack of legal and institutional architecture with regard to dam safety, it remains a major issue of concern. Now this particular bill of 2018, it is going to address all the concerns relating to dam safety. For example, regular inspection of dams, preparation of emergency action plans, comprehensive dam safety reviews, adequate repair and maintenance funds, instrumentation and safety manuals. So it is going to take into its ambit all the issues relating to dam safety. The bill also provides for constituting a National Committee on Dam Safety, which is going to evolve dam safety policies in the country. Also, it provides for establishing a National Dam Safety Authority, which will be a regulatory authority to implement the policy, guidelines and standards for dam safety in the country. So it calls for two authorities. One is the National Committee on Dam Safety, and the other one is the National Dam Safety Authority. So this is about the Dam Safety 2018 bill. Now next let's move to the MOU which has been recently signed between ICMR and INSERM of France. So recently Union Cabinet has signed MOU between Indian Council of Medical Research and Institut National de la Santé de la Recherche Médicale, or INSERM, France. So this MOU has been recently signed, and the area of cooperation, they include medical, life sciences and health research fields. So based on the scientific excellence of these sites, they are going to jointly focus on the issues of diabetes, bioethics, rare diseases and other areas of mutual interest. So we have to remember that the MOU was signed between ICMR and the French organization, that is INSERM. Now the next one is about the 3-year action plan with regard to agriculture education division. So the Union Cabinet has recently approved continuing a 3-year action plan with regard to scheme for agriculture education division and ICAR institutions with an outlay of around 2,225 crores. So this is the plan, and it comprises of 3 basic components, and these components, they include strengthening and developing higher agriculture education, ICAR, National Academy of Agriculture Research Management, ICAR, Central Institute of Women in Agriculture. So these are the three components of this particular plan, and the overall objective is to improve and to generate quality human resources from the institutions of higher agriculture education. Now the next one is about the inauguration of BEL, that is Bharat Electronics Limited's new office in Vietnam. So recently Defense Minister Shrimati Nirmala Sitharaman has inaugurated the first representative office of Navratna Defense PSU, which is Bharat Electronics Limited in Hanoi, Vietnam. So BEL, it is India's one of the leading defense electronics company, and it is increasingly expanding its footprint in Southeast Asian countries like Myanmar, Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, etc. So now it has opened its first representative office at Vietnam, and the objective is to boost the export business and to gain more and more opportunities with regard to exports. This representative office is going to promote BEL's export in areas such as weapon systems, radar system, naval system, military communication system, etc. Now the next one is about 2 women battalions of Jammu and Kashmir Police. So in order to enhance the representation of women, the Union Ministry of Home Affairs, it has approved raising 2 women battalions for Jammu and Kashmir Police. So 1 battalion each for Jammu region and each for Kashmir region, they are going to be raised, and 60% of the posts are going to be reserved for women of 10 border districts. And this initiative, this particular scheme, it is going to provide direct employment to over 2,000 deserving women in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So this we have to remember. Now next one is about the launch of Solar Charkha mission. The most important aspect of this is that it has been launched by the Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. This is one of the most important aspects of this particular mission, and its ultimate aim is to generate employment in rural areas and contribute to the green economy in rural as well as urban areas. The most of the focus is going to be on rural areas. The mission is going to cover around 50 clusters, and each cluster is going to employ around 400 to 2000 artisans. And this mission has been approved by the government, and it is going to disperse subsidy of rupees 550 crore to the artisans. Now under this mission, 15 new state-of-the-art technology centers are being set up in all parts of the country, including Northeast, of which 10 centers will become operational by March 2019. So these are about the basic aspects of Solar Charkha mission, which has been launched by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises. Now the next one is about the launch of Utson mobile app by Center for Railway Information System. So this particular app has been launched, which enables booking and cancellation of unreserved tickets, renewal of season and platform tickets, checking and loading of our wallet balance. Now this app can be accessed by basic registration, which is very easy to do, and upon successful registration, our wallet or railway wallet is going to be created automatically, and the funds, they are going to be transmitted through this particular account. There will be no extra cost for creating this particular wallet, and no advanced ticket booking will be allowed using this particular mobile app. So these are the key features of this Utson mobile app, and we can be directly asked that this Utson mobile app was in news recently. It has been developed by which of the following organizations? So this we have to remember. Now next one is about the Niti Aayog's Composite Water Management Index. So this particular index has been devised by Niti Aayog, keeping in view the overall objective of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and this particular index, it is going to provide a useful tool to assess and improve the performance of different states with regard to efficient management of water resources. So this can be asked in the examination that recently Composite Water Management Index was in news, and we can be asked at which of the following organization has released it. So answer to this is going to be Niti Aayog, and this we have to remember. So guys, this is all about our discussion on some of the very important current affairs from 10th of June 2018 to 13th of June 2018. Thank you guys. If you found this video useful, please like the same and share it with your friends, and for more similar videos, please subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Thank you.